All right, so if you've never done yoga before, you're gonna be fine. The beauty of this is that you're in your own home and nobody can see how foolish you feel like you look. But what I always like to say before every single class, and frankly, this applies to every class that you're going to take in the history of yoga, you do what you can every single time. So if there's something that I'm offering that doesn't feel good in your body, if there's something that you're like, that's a little too contortion for me, have a nice day, you can skip it. I'll give you options, I'll kind of show you what to do. You can just sit on your mat and laugh at me if you want to over the next hour. But wild times we're living in, so go ahead and come to a seat, any comfortable seat here. You can relax your shoulders down your back. If you've got something to sit up on, like a pillow or a block, sometimes that can feel good to elevate the hips a little bit. And then let your hands rest in your lap as I pick various animal fur off of me. So this is just like one of my live yoga classes. And so as you close your eyes, you'll start to reach up through the crown of your head, sit nice and tall, take a deep breath in, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. And on your breath out, let them soften down. And you'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders lift. Exhale, let them soften. Last one here, big breath in, shoulders shrug up. Maybe you pause at the top, really get a little tense up there. And then exhale out to relax down. You can keep your eyes closed or your gaze soft, but you'll hear my voice, and so you'll know when it's time to move. But you start to shut out some of that external stimulus. We absorb about 80% of our stress through our eyes, so I'm a big fan of closing them. And just kind of letting your body fall into the natural rhythm of your breath. So you feel an inhale. And notice an exhale. And the first few minutes of a practice is always spent here, at least in my practice. And so in times like these where things might feel a little uncertain, where it feels like maybe the ground has been swept out from underneath you, you get to feel the ground there. You set your foundation. You notice your breath. And each and every breath acts as a reminder that you're still okay. And so I want you to take 5 more of your deepest breaths here. See if you can count an inhale. And an exhale. And that's 1. These are deep yoga breaths, not stressed out people breaths. On your next inhale, let your arms go up. You can blink your eyes open if they aren't already. Exhale, draw your hands through heart center. And you'll do that again. You follow your hands, inhale to reach. Exhale, hands come through heart. Last one here, big breath in, sweep up. This time on your exhale, I want a gentle twist over to your right side. And so for those of you that are on the computer, theoretically, I should still be mirroring you. I'm just peeking over to make sure. And go ahead and you can bring your left hand to your right knee, press back through your right hand to lift up tall through the spine. So you're always working into this length here. You'll take another breath in. And stay to breathe out. Let both arms reach back up on your next breath in. On your breath out, you'll twist over to your left. And so even if you mix up your lefts and rights during class today, there's always two sides to everything, so you can totally screw it up and still be just fine. This is a zero pressure situation. Take another breath in and a breath out. And both arms go back up on your breath in. On your exhale, you'll set up your tabletop pose. Arms can come down by your side. And just so you know, I'm going to face you guys as much as I can today, but realistically, you can be on your mat just like this. I'm seeing now on my computer, Mike Harrington's setup. He's got his big screen on his computer, on his table. I love it. So from your tabletop pose, I want you to fan your fingertips out really wide, almost like you could suction cup your palms here. I'm just going to get this out of the way, because I do have a certain amount of vanity. I still am a human being. I want to see how silly this looks. All right, press the palms. Get nice and long through your spine. You can tuck your toes, or you can leave them untucked. And as you press, feel your belly engage. So you still feel that steadiness, that ground underneath you. And then you start with some gentle spinal tilts. On your inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. That's cow pose. Exhale, tuck your chin, round your spine for cat. And so you're just starting to move into the body this morning. Inhale, belly drops, cow. Hey, kitty. Exhale, spine rounds, cat. How appropriate. Hadley's helping. One more just like that. Belly drops, inhale. And spine rounds, exhale. You'll take about 5 more breaths like that. You can stick with the cat-cows, moving the spine. You might look over one shoulder and then the other. Just starting to take some movements because it's early. If you're like me, you haven't been up for more than an hour. And so you just kind of start to feel things out. Maybe you take a few circles. You might linger in one place a little bit longer. I guess the beauty of practicing from home is that you don't have to feel stupid with whatever positions you take, with whatever movements you make. You just let it feel good. You get another deep breath in. And exhale to round your spine. And coming back through your neutral tabletop. So every time you find this neutral, you readjust. Maybe roll out the wrists a little bit. And then you'll start with the next posture. On your inhale, send your right foot to the back of the mat. You'll keep the toe mounds down. Just press back through the calf, or press back through the heel rather, to release through the calf. You keep the spine long, belly in. And then coming back through center, you'll cross right foot over left. Use it as a little bit of a kickstand. You might lower down onto forearms here, if that feels more comfortable. Gives the wrists a little break. And then look over your left shoulder. So you're taking a deep breath in through the entire right side body. And a steady breath out. You'll start to come back through center. You can press the palms into the mat. Bring your right leg back. Get strong again through your hands, pressing the ground away. Inhale, your right leg lifts. Flex back with your heel. So I don't want your toe to point, I want your heel to point. So you're feeling that nice length. And then from here, your right or left arm rather can reach forward. This is your balancing tabletop. If this doesn't feel steady, bring the left hand down and you do it from here. It's a deep breath in. On your exhale, your knee draws in, maybe towards the elbow, maybe just towards the nose, and you do that 2 more times. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, knee draws in. 1 more like that. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee comes in towards the elbow or the nose, and the body parts are just guides. Inhale to lengthen out. Exhale, bring your hand and knee back down to the mat. Dip into your right hip, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, back through center. Dip into your left hip, look over your right shoulder. And come back through center again. All right, you'll take that second side. Feel that active press through the hands. Inhale your left foot back. Good, press back through the heel. I say good, it's just like a, it's a nervous tick at this point. You're gonna hear me say good, you're gonna hear me say nice a whole lot today, even though I can't see any of you. Bring it forward. You can start to cross the left leg over the right. Maybe you lower down onto forearms again. The left foot acts as a kickstand, and you'll look over your right shoulder. And so you feel that opening all through the left side for a breath in. Stay through the breath out. And then start to come back through center again. Bringing the hands back to the mat, you'll press the ground away. Get really strong through your belly. And on your inhale, start to lift your left leg up. And you want to take rounding out of the spine. So if you're looking like this, bring a little bit more strength into the belly. Pressing, maybe your right arm reaches forward. You can tuck the right toes under for a little bit more stability. Take your breath in. Exhale, knee draws in. 2 more times, lengthen, inhale. Exhale, knee draws in. 1 more, inhale to extend. Exhale, knee draws in. Find length on your inhale. Exhale, bring your hand and knee back down to the mat. Dip into your left hip, look over your right shoulder. Come back through center, inhale. Exhale, dip into the right hip, look over your left shoulder. All right, back through center again. From here, all 10 toes tuck under. Walk your hands a little bit further forward. So you're gonna find your downward facing dog. Take an inhale. On your exhale, start to lift your knees. Keep bent knees as you send your hips up and back to your first downward facing dog. Now you might take your hands out a little bit wider and pedal out your feet a little bit. This is one of those, the first time I did it at home, I thought my heels had to be like on the ground, and I'm pretty sure I looked like this, trying to straighten my legs and stretch my hamstrings into oblivion. So know that that's not what we're going for. You're pressing, you're sending your chest back toward your thighs, and I want you to go for more length in the spine than anything else. And take another breath in. And breathe out. On your inhale, rise up to tippy toes. Exhale, lower the heels. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, heels lower. Last one, big breath and lift up. Exhale, soften down. On your next breath in, glide forward to high push-up. So you're bringing the shoulders more or less over the wrists. And again, bring your hands out wide so you allow for some broadness across the shoulders. My high push-up is a little bit messy, but I want you to draw back through your heels. Feel your quads engage. Keep pressing the ground away. Take another breath in. On your exhale, hips go back, downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. I want you to use your whole palm. Soft knees as you fold forward. Feet will come out a little bit wider. And then bring opposite hand to opposite elbow for ragdoll pose. And get steady through the feet. Again, bending the knees maybe so much so that your chest rests on your thighs. It doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to feel good in the body. It has to feel steady, stable. Maybe you sway a little bit from side to side. And you're breathing here for 3. Notice some nice length through the spine for 2. Take 1 more full breath in. Exhale, hands fall back down to the mat. On your inhale, come to downhill skier, so your forearms will come to your thighs. This is a great posture to strengthen the back, and it strengthens the core. So instead of kind of collapsing down and being like here, rounded forward, you're gonna press the forearms, lift the chest through the thighs. If this feels insane, bring your hands to your thighs, lift up from there instead. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. On your inhale, start to straighten your legs. On your exhale, bend your knees. So you keep the spine long and steady. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, bend your knees. 1 more here. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend your knees. Next breath in, press through your feet. Sweep all the way up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, open up to mountain. So I'm just going to turn to face you for a second here. So mountain pose is foundational for every single posture that you're coming through today. Your feet are on the ground. And then you start from the ground up with everything. You can't see my cat, but she's in front of me rolling around like an adorable roly-poly. Palms are down by your side. Soften the shoulders again. And it's always that lift up through the crown of your head. You get nice and long. Take a full breath and reach up. Exhale, hands at heart. Do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center. All right, start to bring your hands down by your side. You're priming your feet from here, so our poor little tootsies don't get a lot of attention or love. On your inhale, you're rising up onto tippy toes. Lift straight up through the crown of your head. Exhale, lower the heels down, lift all 10 toes up. Do that 2 more times. Inhale to rise. Exhale, lower your heels, lift your toes, keep the balls of your feet down. Do that once more. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, lower the heels, lift the toes. All 10 toes come down. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold all the way down. Hands to the mat. Walk yourself all the way back out to your high push-up. You get nice and steady here, pressing the ground away. Breathe in. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bend knees. So remember, you're not really going for length through the hamstrings to a crazy degree. You're really looking more for length in the spine. Next, inhale, bend into your knees. Look forward, nice and slow. Use the whole foot. Walk to the top of your mat. If you've got blocks, you're going to grab them here. Have them handy. On your inhale, come back into your downhill skier. Forearms or hands to thighs. Take a breath in. Exhale, both arms go back behind you. Inhale, press down, sweep all the way up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands to mat or your blocks. Step your left foot back, runner's lunge. All right, in your runner's lunge, whether you've got blocks or not, I want you to feel really steady through the legs, so much so that you can lift the hands and you still have a nice long spine and strong feet. So it's just like your mountain pose here. Take a full breath in from your runner's lunge. Tap your left knee down, lift your chest. Exhale, straighten and fold over your right leg, gratitude pose. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, forward to lunge, tap your left knee. Exhale, send your hips back. Last one here. Inhale, lunge, lift up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, hips go back, gratitude pose. Now you can hold here. I want you to start to bend your left knee a little bit, pull back through the right hip. So this is where you get your hamstring release in. Feel that nice length here. Take another deep breath in. And stay to breathe out. Inhale, glide forward to your lunge. On your exhale, if you've got blocks, you'll lower them. If you don't, just place the left hand on the mat. Right arm will reach up to twist. Now, I don't know if I have any pregnant mamas on this call right now, or on this stream, but if you're a pregnant mama, you're gonna take it the opposite way. Make some room for the belly. Take another breath in. Exhale, top arm comes down. Runner's lunge, inhale. Exhale, step your left foot forward, right into downhill skier. You find some strength here to lift up. Take a breath in. Exhale, arms go back. Press down through your feet, sweep all the way up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands to blocks or your mat. Right foot steps back, runner's lunge. So you find your second side. Start to lift it up again. Hands might be on blocks, they might be on the mat. Take a full breath in from here. On your exhale, straighten your left leg, send your hips back. 2 more. Inhale, forward to lunge. Tap your right knee down, lift your chest. Exhale, gratitude pose. Last one here. Inhale, forward lunge. Exhale, hips go back, gratitude. Again, bending into the right knee. Send the left hip back. You're breathing for 3. Feeling length through the back of the left leg. 4, 2. 1 more breath in. Stay to breathe out. Inhale, back forward to your lunge. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Downhill skier. Find that strength. Chest lifts, inhale. Exhale, arms back. Press through your feet, sweep up, extended mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale, fold down, hands to the mat, step back, high push up. High push up, breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog, bent knees. From down dog, inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Your knees come out max width distance. Big toes can come to touch. Start to send your hips back. You'll walk your hands out in front of you. Your forehead will be on your mat. If your forehead's not on your mat, you might find something to put underneath it so that it is. And then you're going to steady your breath from here. Your alternative number 2, if this doesn't feel good on your hips, is to bring the knees together. If this feels like too much on your shoulders, your hands will come back behind you. And if none of that works, I just want you to sit. And so it's that reminder to pause. A reminder to take deeper breaths. In through the nose. Out through the nose or mouth. Breathing in. Breathing out. And even though it feels completely counterintuitive to stop, almost right in the middle of what you're doing, it's exactly what we need to learn to do. To find some space, to hear your breath, and to let in some clarity. So you'll take 3 of your deepest breaths wherever you are, child's pose, seated, whatever's feeling good in your body. And let yourself be quiet. One more breath in through the nose. Out through nose or mouth. If you're ready, and only if you're ready, you can sit here for the rest of practice. You can be in child's pose for the rest of practice. If you're ready for some more movement, you'll come back to your downward facing dog. Toes will tuck under, palms will press. Again, bring your hands out a little bit wider to allow some space for the shoulders, and send your hips back, right from the point on your sits bones. You're lifting the hips up. Take a deep breath in, and a breath out. Next, inhale, your right leg can lift. Exhale, bring your right foot through to your right hand, coming into runner's lunge. A little bit of a different way to get there. You might need to tap your left knee down if the right foot came here. Just help that sucker up. We all need a little assist sometimes. Hands will come to blocks if you're using them. Come into your runner's lunge. Take a breath in, lift your chest. On your exhale, both arms come back behind you. So I want you to start to get really high on the ball of the left foot. Let your chest hover, shoulders relax down. Next, inhale, press down to sweep all the way up, crescent lunge. Now from here, if this doesn't feel steady, I remind you that you're not auditioning for Cirque du Soleil today, and you take a wider stance. You take a wider stance, take a shorter stance, but feel steady through your feet. If you still don't feel steady through your feet, tap your left knee down. All right, so get nice and tall, nice and long. Both arms go up on your next breath in. On your exhale, twist, left arm forward, right arm back. Again, if you're pregnant, you're gonna go do the opposite way. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist, left arm forward. One more here, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, find the twist, left arm forward. Now you're holding this. So all of the twisting in your body comes from the middle spine, the middle rib cage. From here, you can tuck your toes. Maybe you lift up. And you're holding for 3. Breathe for 2. One more, inhale. Stay to exhale. Inhale, both arms lift through center. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. If your left knee was down, lift it up. Find your runner's lunge, take a breath in. Exhale again, both arms back behind you. Press down through your feet, sweep all the way up, crescent lunge. This time on the exhale, left heel spins flat, open up to warrior two. All right, so from here, warrior two. Find that deep bend in your right knee. You don't need to have crazy wide stance. Shorten it again so that you feel steady through your feet. Arms will come out. Press through the outside edge of your right foot, left foot. Inhale, both arms sweep up overhead, straighten your front leg. Find mountain pose in the spine. Exhale back to warrior two. Do that again. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, warrior two. One more. Inhale, lengthen, lift. Exhale, warrior two. Now you're rotating the right knee out towards the pinky edge side of your right foot. If it feels better to bring it in, I just want your knee and your toes in the same direction. And so you press through the feet, set your gaze, flip your front palm, reverse on your inhale, lift straight up with the right hand. Exhale, side angle lunge, front forearm, front thigh. Do that 2 more times. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, side angle lunge. Last time through, inhale, reverse your warrior. You can always straighten the leg if the hip starts to feel tired. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, back up, warrior. Exhale, interlace your hands back behind you. Start to draw the knuckles down, really open through the chest. Take a breath in. Now you can stay here or start to bring yourself to hover over the right thigh. If you're hovering, keep opening through the left shoulder for 3. Keep that bend. Stay strong through your feet for 2. One more breath in. Stay to breathe out. Inhale, release the interlace, reverse, straighten your front leg on track. That should feel good at this point. Grab your right wrist with your left hand, and you'll lift straight up. Coming out of the hips, again, it's mountain pose in the spine. Both arms come back out. Soften the shoulders a little bit. Micro bend the right knee. You're setting up your lifted triangle. Reach with the right hand. Right arm parallel to the right leg. So you stay strong through your side body. Now you can keep the hip open, or you can roll the left hip forward. So you're gonna find what feels most comfortable in your hips. Take another deep breath in. Stay to breathe out. Inhale, reverse, keep the straight front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Flip your front palm, reverse on your inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, frame your right foot, runner's lunge. Runner's lunge, you take a breath in. On your exhale, plant the hands, step your right foot back, downward facing dog. You get 5 breaths to clear from here. Keep the bent knees. And I'm just gonna switch directions so that you can see me on the second side. 3 more inhales. 3 more exhales. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more full inhale. Stay to exhale. All right, next inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot, left hand, step it through, runner's lunge. Runner's lunge, take a breath in. We forgot the twist on the second side, so your right hand is gonna stay down, left arm reaches up, runner's lunge, twist. You can't be a human being doing a yoga class. I don't know where you get to do that. Take another breath in. Exhale, left hand comes down. Tenting through your fingertips on your inhale. Exhale, both arms slide back behind you. So you set up your airplane arms. That's what happens when the cat flees. Next breath in, press down, sweep all the way up, crescent lunge, second side. You'll make your adjustments here. So you might tap the right knee down, you might stay lifted, but you're still pressing down to lift up. Take a breath in. On your exhale, twist, right arm forward, left arm back. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, center. Exhale, high twist, same side, right arm forward. 1 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, find your twist, right arm forward. Now you're holding here for 3. If you want to add on, you'll tuck the right toes, lift up for 2. One more breath in. Stay to breathe out. Have them murder you. Namaste. Inhale up through center. Exhale, spin your right heel flat, open up, warrior 2, second side. All right, so again, steady through the feet. Your right toes are gonna point slightly up towards the top corner of your mat. That's just gonna take some of the rounding out of the front hip. Shoulders over the hips. Arms are out. Inhale, lift up, straighten both legs. Exhale, warrior 2. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, warrior 2. Last one, get really long. Inhale to lift up, press into the feet. Exhale, warrior 2. You find your steady stance, you set your gaze, flip your front palm, reverse on your inhale. Exhale, side angle lunge, front forearm, front thigh. So you're just moving the spine, the leg stays steady unless you're modifying. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, side angle lunge. Last one here, inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle lunge. Inhale, back up, warrior 2. Exhale, interlace your hands behind you. You can straighten the front leg if the hip needs a little break. Try to find the opposite thumb on top, so whichever way feels a little weird. Draw the knuckles down. And then exhale, maybe you find the tilt. If you're tilting, you're really pressing through the outside edge of the right foot for 3. Keeping the chest open, use the right shoulder open for 2. One more breath in. Stay to breathe out. Inhale, release the interlace, reverse, straighten your front leg on track. It'll feel good to reach back, but then grab your left wrist with your right hand, lift straight up. Both arms come back out. And you micro bend the knee. It's weird teaching a class when I can't see what anybody's doing, so I don't know if I need to correct you. But what you want to do here is get the leg as straight as you can without blocking out the knee, right? So you're going to build up all that strength around the joints. Arms come back out. Reach with your left hand. Left arm comes parallel to your left leg, and you're breathing for 3. You keep equal length through both sides. You're strong here for 2. One more breath in. Stay to exhale. Inhale, reverse, straight front leg. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip your front palm, reverse on your inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, frame your left foot runner's lunge, right heel spins up, take a breath in. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. And I know that some of you really like a high through low push-up, so you can hold down dog for a few breaths. Or if you'd like to flow through that, you'll inhale forward to high push-up. You can always drop the knees down. Exhale, halfway down, low push-up. Keep the spine long. Inhale through upward facing dog. Chest through the shoulders. Press through the tops of your feet. Exhale, hips go up and back. Downward facing dog. From down dog, breathe in. And breathe out. Do not be put off by my switching directions. Just take 3 more breaths in your downward facing dog. And realistically, they don't really teach us to count in teacher training, so it's probably going to be more like 5 breaths if you want to take your child's pose or have a seat. And so there's always that little pause. Any of you who know me personally know that I'm a little bit of a rage monster. My first response to most things is to have a fit and freak out. My husband can always attest to that if you need proof of rage. And so what this practice does, especially in times of uncertainty, especially when we have no idea what's coming next, is it reminds us that we're okay right here. In this exact moment, there's nothing wrong. Your heart's beating. your breath is moving. You're healthy enough to even attempt this practice this morning. Take another full breath in. And out. If you're not already there, you'll find your downward facing dog if you're ready to move. Tucking your toes, pressing your hips up and back. Take another full breath in. And a breath out. Next inhale, glide forward, high push-up. Just move the joints a little bit. Exhale, hips back, downward facing dog. Do that again. Inhale, bring it forward, push up. Exhale, send your hips back. One more time. Inhale, forward, high push up. Now this time you're going to drop your heels over to your right. Your right hand will stay down. The left arm is going to reach up. You find your side plank. Your feet can stack. I will fall. Your feet can stagger. Or you can drop your right knee down. So I want some length through the spine here. Always working that side body strength. Keep pressing through the feet. Maybe you reach your left arm up overhead. Take a deep breath in. And a breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, start to bring your left hand down. Find your high push-up again. You'll do that same thing, second side. Breathe in, high push-up. Exhale, heels drop to the left. Left hand stays down, right arm reaches up. Try not to collapse into the hips, but keep pressing up. And if you can't keep pressing up, you drop the left knee down. Right arm can reach up overhead, breathe in. Exhale, hands back down to the mat, high push up. High push up, inhale. Exhale back, downward facing dog. From down dog, take a full breath in. Exhale, drop your knees down to the mat. Find your tabletop pose just as a transition. Maybe you move through the hips a little bit, and then you're gonna kind of crawl forward to the top of your mat. Cross your ankles, come all the way on to your back. All right, so this is your constructive rest posture. I think I've gotten the camera so that you can see me on the ground. Yeah, definitely. Soles of feet are on the mat. Knees point up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands down by your sides. You can set your gaze towards the ceiling, or maybe you close your eyes and take just a few deep breaths here. So you're finally back on the ground. You've got one more active posture to work through before all the good, juicy stuff comes in and you just get to relax, all right? My favorite thing about this practice, especially lately, is that I really need to move an excessive amount to get my mind to shut the hell up. And so that's where the movement comes in. You're setting up your bridge pose when you're ready. Your feet are about hips width distance. And I like to tell the ladies that your hips are not as wide as you think they are. So you don't need your feet out at the ends of your mat. You want your ankles more or less to be underneath your knees when you come up. You press through your hands, press through your feet. On your inhale, let your hips lift up towards the ceiling. You want some opening through the chest. And then your knees are going to draw away from the body, chest is going to draw away from the body, and you're pressing down through the hands. Keep your gaze towards the ceiling. Nobody wants to compromise their neck. You keep the cervical spine, your neck nice and safe here. And then I want you to notice where you're feeling sensation. So you should really feel this in the glute muscles, in the quads working. You don't want to feel pinching in the low back. If you're feeling pinching in the low back, feel your core engage. If you've got to give yourself a little hit in the gut to get that strength there, find it. Your other alternative is to walk your feet out further away from the body and keep lifting. Okay, take another 3 breaths. 2. 1 more inhale. Exhale, nice and slow, lower the hips all the way down, upper, middle, and lower back land. If you feel the overwhelming urge to hug your knees in towards your chest, you've gone too far, so dial it back for the second round. For round 2, bend into your elbows. Make little robot arms towards the ceiling, so you get to use your triceps for leverage here. Pressing through your triceps, pressing through your feet. Inhale, your hips lift up. Remember to keep the head steady, neck nice and long, chin is in towards the chest, and you're here for 5. Glutes are engaged. You're holding for 4. You keep breathing here. So it starts to get challenging. It might start to burn a little bit. And then just notice if your knees are splayed out, really squeeze them back together like you're trying to hold a golf ball between your legs. Take one more breath in. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down with control. One more. The second your hips hit, bring them right back up. Inhale, bridge pose. You're holding again for 5. I know some of you might prefer to interlace your hands underneath your back and kind of shimmy the shoulders. You're welcome to that for 4. Any arm variation works as long as you're pressing through the feet, and don't you dare lift your toes up. Your big toe is 30% of your acceleration. You keep that sucker down to lift. Final 3. Last 2. One more breath in. Exhale all the way down to the mat. I'm going to let yourself land. Take knee knock pose. Don't hug the knees in. Knees come together, feet come out mats with distance, right? Arms can come by your sides. And you might dip one knee in towards the center of the mat and then the other. That's just going to release through the low back. When you get quiet, you can hear my dog barking. Poor Ian's upstairs trying to sleep, and I'm like screaming yoga instructions. And Lucy's losing her mind. All right, now if it feels good, you can hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe you rock a little bit from side to side to massage through the low back. And if it's in your practice, you can take a happy baby. You can either open the knees here. This is plenty. Maybe the hands come underneath the thighs, or you're reaching for the outside edges of your feet. Keep the low back down, and you might rock a little bit here. It's honestly one of the most ridiculous poses that yoga has to offer. So maybe you smile a little bit. Let it be easy, opening the hips just a smidge. Take another breath in. And then gently release that. Bring the knees back in towards your chest. One more squeeze before you release your feet back down to the mat. All right, from here you get into the outer hips. So if you prefer figure 4 on your back, you're good exactly where you are. You'll cross your right ankle over your left knee. Let the right knee open up first. You want to feel sensation in the outer right hip here. If you're not quite there, from the ground, you'll hug your left knee in towards your chest. Maybe you take the interlace behind the thighs. If you're like this and you've interlaced, you've gone too far, dial it back. Maybe just hold the knee in like this. Your second alternative, I know some of you prefer a half pigeon. You'll rock forward until you find your downward facing dog. You can all thank my neighbor that the dog has stopped barking. All right, to set up your half pigeon, from your down dog, you'll lift your right leg on an inhale. And then on your exhale, start to bring your right knee in towards your right wrist. You'll drop that down, bring the shin across your body, shimmy the left leg back nice and long, and then lower yourself down. You may have to tuck the left toe to get there a little bit. They used to say to bring your shin parallel to the top of your mat. Bodies don't really work that way. You're gonna bust your knee out. And so you can always lower down onto forearms from here. If you've got a blanket or a pillow or something and your right hip is uncomfortable, you're gonna bring the block underneath that and switch sides quickly so that you can see what that looks like. That just gives a little bit of space, a little bit of support. Some people would say, don't teach half pigeon. It's a good way to get into the psoas. If you're feeling any pulling or tugging in your knee, I want you to switch back to your figure 4. All right, lowering down maybe onto forearms. Maybe you're still in your figure 4. And you're going to take 5 to 8 more breaths here. And so you get into the quieter moments of your practice. Maybe you let your eyes close again. But you start to come back to a place where you really let gravity take over. And where you're working from a place of ease instead of struggle. Breathing for 5. Let yourself get quiet for 4. another breath in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. If you're in figure four, all you're going to do is take the right foot and the left foot back down to the mat. You'll bring your left ankle over your right knee. If you're in your half pigeon, you can walk up, maybe you bend the left knee, get a little bit of a quad stretch on the left side. Whenever you're ready, you'll tuck your toes under. Use a little bit of strength here to send your right leg up and back to three-legged dog. You might bend the knee and open out the hip, maybe take some circles, and then you'll switch sides for your half pigeon on the left. Inhale the left leg to lift. Exhale, left knee comes in towards the left elbow. Again, that shin comes across your body. You're going to need to tuck the right toes, shinny that right leg back as long as you can. I can get pretty close to the ground at this point. I've been doing yoga for a while. If you're all the way up here and you feel like this is really uncomfortable, again, you bring that block in. And as you settle in, if you can hear it, for this side hold, you get to listen to the symphony of Lucy barks from outside. Although she seemed to quiet down, I used to hate being quiet. Being in my own head was the biggest nightmare I could imagine. But it's so rare that you get to do just this. So take 8 more breaths. Let yourself be quiet. One more breath in. Nice, steady exhale. Your hands can walk back up if you're in half pigeon. If you're in your figure four, you get the benefit of staying right where you are and just bring both feet back down to the mat. We'll all find our way there. Right toes tuck, left leg goes up and back. Again, find your three-legged dog, maybe bending the knee, opening out the hip, taking some circles. Eventually, everybody will make their way back down to the ground, however you want to get there. We'll set up one more pose before your final resting posture, twisting through the spine, kind of releasing some of that work we did. So from your back, again, feet are on the ground. When you're ready, you'll bring your knees in towards your chest. Keep your right knee hugged in, left leg goes long down the mat. Take a full breath in. Maybe rolling out the ankle on your exhale, gently guide your right knee across your body. You're going to need to shimmy the hips a little bit to get the right to stack over the left. Your arms will open out wide. And then if you want, you can bring something underneath the right knee, or you can just kind of hold it up. You can look towards the ceiling. Or if you want to continue the twist up into your neck and it feels okay, you'll look over your right shoulder for 5 breaths. One more inhale. Stay to exhale. Bring it back through center on your breath in. You'll get your hips back on the ground, both knees in towards the chest. Maybe a little rock from side to side before letting your right leg go down the mat. Left knee stays hugged in. Take a breath in. On your exhale, guide your left knee across your body. Again, shimmy the hips a little bit to stack. Arms can come out, gaze towards the ceiling or over your left shoulder. And again, it's 5 deep breaths. In through the nose. Maybe out through the mouth. Inhale both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a final squeeze in here. And you set up the best pose of the practice, your Shavasana. So that can look like whatever you need it to look like. Traditionally, legs go long down the mat, arms will open out by your sides, and you kind of get yourself nice and flat and comfortable on the ground. For some of you, it will feel better to leave your feet on the ground and your knees in. If you want to lay on your side and snuggle a pillow, I'm fine with that too. Really. I'm going to sit up so I can watch the time. But take a few moments here just to settle in to the final posture of your practice. And so if you don't have music and you're used to it, this might be a little bit challenging. If it feels okay, again, you're going to close your eyes. If it doesn't, you'll just soften your gaze towards your ceiling or just a spot that's not moving. And then again, reminder that the fact that you're breathing is a sign that you're okay. And so you feel the ground beneath you. You feel the breath within you. And it's moments like this that remind you that you can be steady regardless of what's going on. The world could collapse around you. It could feel like you're in the middle of a hurricane. But you remember that in the middle of that hurricane, there's actually a little bit of calm. And whether you know it or not, that always exists inside of you. So I'm going to leave you in silence for about 4 more minutes here. You'll hear my voice again when it's time to bring some awareness back to your body. But for now, you'll feel a full breath in through your nose. A steady breath out through your mouth. Let yourself be. You take your Shavasana. Begin to take a purposeful breath in. And an intentional breath out. Invite some gentle movements back in through your fingers and your toes. Bringing your awareness back to your body. Back to the sound of my dog barking outside. Welcome to the zoo. When you're ready, you'll hug your knees in towards your chest and roll to your right side. As much as I hate the dog barking and the cat crying in my face, the reality is that the perfect circumstances don't really exist. They didn't exist if you're Gandhi or Jesus or Mother Teresa. And they certainly aren't going to exist if you're you or I. And so this practice reminds us that even though those circumstances don't exist, maybe you can find a little slice of peace, a little bit of calm, by taking a second to slow down, to remember what matters, and to focus on your breath. That constant reminder that you're doing okay. If you feel ready, you'll press your way back up to a seat. Your eyes can stay closed or your gaze soft. And sitting up tall once again, both arms will reach up overhead on your breath in. Exhale to bring your hands through heart center. Thumb knuckles press into a warrior's heart. And even though we're not together physically, we can still manage to come together in one way or another. And so regardless of whether it's a quarantine or something else, we've still got each other. And take one more deep breath in together. Open your mouth, exhale. And it is with so much love, light, and gratitude for ourselves, each other, and this practice that brings us together, whether we're quarantined or not, we bow and say, Namaste. All right, guys, that is it. That is your yoga class for today. Thank you all so much